Hey, look. Y'all look. Hey, what it is? I'm one of the hood members, man, who told my dog stay in school, man. You know. Come on, we hood. We good. We taking them to the trap. Hey, we taking them to the trap.
We gonna eat regardless.
I bet. So like many of you, I grew up watching basketball and listening to hip hop. And in this video, I want to talk about influences and fake thuggery. Now, we've all been influenced at one point or another in our lives. That's why people wore sleeves and braids, because Allen Iverson did it. That's why everybody wanted to hit a fadeaway jump shot, because Kobe did it. And that's why some people choose to, because their favorite gangster rapper claims they did it. Now, this is Ja Morant, and as you can see, he's been influenced by hip-hop culture. You can see it in his grills, in his chains. He's kind of carrying the look of a Spot 'em Got 'em NBA Youngboy. Now, the difference between them is that Ja Morant is coming from a two-parent household and from the suburbs, whereas NBA Youngboy and Spot 'em Got 'em, they have a very troubled, dysfunctional past. I'm talking about broken homes, in and out of jail, getting shot, a whole lot of baby mamas, and these dudes are only in their early 20s.
Heard of NBA young boy, but you NBA dumb boy. You got $231 million promised to you, and you want to be a thug? You are lowering yourself to the level of your mother friends, and they not your friends. So your daddy can smile at every game all he want to, but the moment them white folks see that goddamn picture, boy, you finna lose a shit ton of money. You supposed to be waving that basketball on camera, and that's it, you motherfucker, you.
So this article that you see on the screen was published by ESPN just a few days ago. And what it reads is that Ja Morant, as he came into the NBA, was very coachable, very respectable, and humble. However, that changed over the course of 18 months when he started displaying a whole bunch of thug behavior. But here is the conundrum. There is no reason for Ja Morant to be displaying this thug behavior because he was born and raised in the suburbs and he's making millions in the NBA right now. And this is my segue into the main point of this video, because the question remains, what is up with all of this thuggery coming out of the suburbs? Now, the other day on Undisputed, they were discussing this article, and Michael Irvin, who is a Hall of Fame football player, is experiencing this very same issue in his household.
I got a son. He raps. His rap name is Tut Tarantino. If you ever listen to some of his raps, I'm like, oh my God. Where does this come from, son? You grew up in a gated community your whole life, but he's rapping my life because we romanticize and fantasize about that old thug life, ghetto life, and all of that stuff. When we used to work to get away from it, now we've gotten to a place somehow we're running back towards it in the music and everything. In the days I was coming up, all of those guys that you see, the Ja Morants, them hanging around, those guys were still around us, Key. But it was, they were like, get out of here. Stop doing this. You got a chance to make it out of here the right way. So those guys would try to tell you to stop being in these neighborhoods. Stop hanging out. Go do what you have to do. It's not like that now. The guys are more hanging on and want to go with guys, and you're tearing up careers. I mean, we got to be good enough in the neighborhood to know when God has touched somebody with that gift that time is talking about, and be good enough to say, hey, man, you shouldn't be around here. You shouldn't be doing things. You got a chance to do it the right way and change a lot of lives and help out our people. And we got to be strong enough to do that.
So here's the thing, people from the hood and people from the suburbs both like hip hop. However, these artists, they sell the lifestyle to the people in the hood and the music and concert tickets to the people in the suburbs. Now, the people in the suburbs, hip hop is like Grand Theft Auto to them. It's an imaginary gangster lifestyle. So you'll have these dudes all up in the comment sections talking about dead ops. You'll have the rich Caucasian kids rapping along with the lyrics, saying all kind of N-words. And that's why the rap game is so lame, because the rap game, all they're going to do is push destruction. They're going to tell you that if you want to go to school, get a career, and be a decent human being, that you're a lame. But if you want to be one of the guys, if you want to be cool, then you got to like not give a damn about your life. You got to sell drugs, hang out with dudes all day, and make a lot of single mothers. And a lot of these dudes, they join gangs because they believe they're going to be able to instill fear in people, and that they're going to attract a whole lot of women, and that they'll be untouchable. And then you'll have these dudes that are raised in the suburbs feeling embarrassed for the fact that they are from the suburbs, that they'll try to prove themselves to the streets. And that's the real embarrassment, to come from the suburbs, to have all of these opportunities, and then just throw away your life to the grave or jail just because you're trying to prove yourself to men that don't even care about you. And this is the case with Ja Morant, because he wants to present himself as if he's hood rich, because he's falling for the conditioning just like how many others have fallen for the conditioning. And trust me, I get it, because I was young once and I once thought that gangbanging was cool, but I was in high school, bruh. And I've always wanted to go to college, get married, and have a family. You see, what a lot of these young guys don't realize is that the rappers that they're looking up to, a lot of them are fake. You got Drake out here rapping about gangsta stuff, Tyga rapping about gangsta stuff, but these dudes are from the suburbs. Like, Drake rather talk about shooting somebody or getting somebody lined up and mob ties than to talk about being raised in Forest Hill. Now, I want to quickly talk about this comment that I received in my first Ja Morant video that I did a few months back. This guy came in my comments saying that just because a dude has grills, chains, and tattoos, it doesn't mean that he's thugging, nor does it mean that he's trying to portray the image of a thug. And I could only agree with one part of that it doesn't necessarily mean that he is actually thugging, but he is definitely trying to portray the image of a thug, because where else would he get the idea to dress like this? Some of these disingenuous dudes would be like, oh, well, black dudes, we used to wear chains and gold when we was in Egypt. Listen, nobody's wearing chains and grills in their mouth today because of Egypt. And the dude in that comment section also accused me of stereotyping, which I was, but at the end of the day, a lot of stereotypes come from some source of truth. Like, if a girl's walking down the street with hardly any clothes, then, people's gonna think that she's a jump off. Or if somebody's begging for change, you're gonna assume that that person's either living in poverty or homeless. So when I see a dude with more jewelry than they got teeth, I'm gonna assume that they're either in the streets or they're trying to look like they're in the streets. And a lot of these people from the suburbs, including Ja Morant, they want to look like they're in the streets. I am the polite Canadian, aka the problem solver, and the older I get, the less I care about what other people think of me. And the less that I care about what people think of me, the happier I feel internally. And the less that you care about what people think of you, the less you'll feel the pressure to have to be a people pleaser. And that's all I gotta say about that.